Welcome, real estate enthusiasts, to the third episode of Unscripted with Ken
and Thomas, where we just talk real estate. Today's topic is going to be first-time home buying 101. So let's start off with, there's a lot of expenditures with first-time home buying.
Yes, so when you're buying your first home or any home, there's expenditures. So let's talk money first. The money that you're expected to spend buying your first home or any home would be, you have legal fees. So your lawyers, you'd have to pay. With legal fees, I think a lot of people confuse themselves with just lawyer fees, but there's actually disbursements, there's courier fees, there's title insurance, there's all kinds of stuff that is incorporated with legals. And we'd like to see legals as a one lump sum number for a lot of first-time home buyers to keep it simple. And when they hire their lawyers, they should really get a breakdown of what they're paying for. A lot of lawyers give you just a really low legal fee price, but they really need to understand that there's a lot of other charges on top. So when you're choosing your lawyers, please make sure you get a breakdown of everything. Also, land transfer taxes. It really depends where you're buying your first home, because we know there is a municipal tax as well as a provincial tax. So if you're buying anything within the city of Toronto, there's actually a municipal land transfer tax which they will slap on at closing, which is also double of what, it's identical to the provincial tax, but you're paying 2 times. So if you're buying anything outside of Toronto, you're actually saving half the land transfer tax. Down payments is also something to consider.
Yeah, we will be touching that on the next point deeply, but there's also deposits you need to consider, and there's timelines on that. So basically when you're putting in your offer, that has to be ready to go, and that's something to consider. So going with a good agent who knows what they're doing, they'll have you ready for that. And then on top of that, guys, you guys can't forget about moving costs. You know, your furniture is not just going to appear in your new home, unfortunately.
Yes, we have a good source to connect. If you guys have any, if you guys are looking, just connect to us below, and we'll connect you guys with the movers.
For sure.
Down payments. The down payment dilemma. That's our next point, Thomas.
So ideally, 20%. I think that's the number everyone knows, and that's what gives you the most options. There are alternative options. You can pay 10, 15, or 5%, but that's going to be a secured mortgage. So you're going to be paying an insurance premium as well on top of your monthly mortgage payments. And there's also the fact that it's going to be only for a 25-year amortization period. But the positives are that you get into the housing market earlier, and therefore you have an appreciating asset, and you're not paying rent anymore.
Yes. Another thing to consider with a secured mortgage is that the mortgage insurance is owed, no matter if you use the property for 25 years or 5 years. The moment you sell your home, the insurance company expects you to pay the full lump sum of everything owed together, the 25 years of insurance.
Right on.
Yes.
So at this point, we're going to talk about crafting a competitive offer.
Yes. So I think the offer seems very simple. I think everyone feels any agent should be able to write the offer, and all agents are the same. But the truth is, not all agents are the same, and your representative is pretty much the only thing the seller will see, because they represent you.
Right.
And think about someone that can illustrate you, the story of you, and make it competitive and appeal to the seller. I think that is very important. And if your agent doesn't know who you are, how old your kids are, what you do, and how hard it was for you to come up with this money and work so hard in your life to buy your first home, they're just really just writing down the offer, and the sellers see it. I've seen it many times on the other side. Agent doesn't speak English, drops me a piece of paper and says, "This is my offer." And you know what? I'm going to pretty much present the same thing to my sellers, and it's not really going to hit them emotionally. You don't have as much of an impact, especially for, I think, for a really hot market. Sellers want something, they want to remember the buyer. There's 10, 20 offers on the table. They don't know who you are. You want someone that can hit them emotionally, have them remember you and want to sell to you. That is most important. So having a competitive offer really translate to our next topic, choosing your realtor.
Yeah, I think it's very important, kind of like what you already touched on, that they're going to be your representative to the other party. So you want to be proud of your agent, kind of thing. You're going to be working closely with them as well, so it's important to have a good, relationship with them. If you're comfortable, then you guys are going to be able to talk about things
It's got to
openly.
be more than comfortable. You got to you're like married for the next.
Yeah, so it's a big
2
decision.
months.
You want your agent to be there for you. You want your agent to be available to you. You don't want to be calling them for 2 weeks and unable to find them. You want to go with someone who's, hip, kind of able to use all available resources like technology, e-signatures. That stuff will speed up processes. You don't necessarily want to go with the person that's still using paper and having to drive around to do things that you can get done online.
Yes.
I
don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like some people may like it, but I like to contact my people anytime I want via WhatsApp, text, and they can reply me when they're convenient. But at least I got my message out there. I'm not going to remember tomorrow what I want to say. I'm just going to text you right away.
Yeah, but again, like you want your agent to be there. You take you to showings, not just send you out your way and write up an offer. These are important things. Like they should be your agent for a reason.
Yes. So I think there's a lot of I actually see a lot of this during my open houses. A lot of agents out there. I'm not saying us. They offer I don't even call them clients. They offer whoever they know a kickback. Let's just say, 1% of the purchase price. I mean, it sounds great, but as a first-time home buyer, do you really know what you want to buy? Let alone, do they really know what you need?
Yeah. The whole process is going to be much more streamlined. They're going to know the market. They're going to show you what is actually within your budget, not get your hopes up. That's important. Some people just don't understand when they're first walking in. They don't understand what kind of help they're going to need. We can, lawyers, we can give you trusted lawyers, we can give you mortgage brokers, movers, like you mentioned earlier. This all helps.
Yeah, and it's great you get a kickback of that 1%, but did you really buy the home that you wanted? Was that
the best option?
Like you went to an open house, you liked the home, great. The guy typed an offer, got you the home, but what about the other options? The realtor is there really what our job is to find out what our clients need. And I fight with my clients all the time. They don't need it. They'll much prefer something else on the market they were not even thinking of. And it's our job to test them enough times for them to 100% know what they want. And I think that's a part of working with a realtor. And hopefully everyone's having that kind of experience with their realtors.
For sure. So that does it, guys, for First Time Home Buying 101. Hopefully you guys liked the episode. And if you do, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more episodes in the future.